Hello everybody, FAI here, or I here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks Video. And in today's Accureye Talks Video, I thought we'd talk about a course that I've been kind of coming up with, which is kind of an aim/recoil control course. Now this this course is supposed to be helping you with every, particular weapon in the game. And then leading into, of course, depending on your preference and your choice. But today we're going to be starting with the easiest of the weapons to utilize and use, which is for aim and recoil, which is, of course, the pistols. Now you're probably thinking, why aren't you starting with shotguns and stuff like that? Well, shotguns have special uses, and in my opinion, shotguns also are a specialty gun that aren't going to be used in every situation. So, of course, we're starting with pistols. Now, to get started with this course, I would suggest you get a level 3 backpack, just so that you have enough, space for ammo and stuff, because you're probably going to need a lot of ammo, especially when practicing these courses. And, of course, as I said before, pointing out shotguns, we're not starting with shotguns because, again, they have special uses, and therefore, at least in my opinion, specialty occasions. They're not going to be used everywhere and in every case. So, that's why we're starting with pistols like the P2020 and the Wingman, which, again, are the two easiest pistols, in my opinion, to control and to use. So, once you get the P2020 and the Wingman, I would suggest you start picking up your ammo. Now, you can get as much ammo as you like. I would recommend around 360 rounds, just so that you have enough ammo to do this, because, again, this could take some time, as we are going to be learning to utilize hip fire for most of our shots, especially close to medium range, and then in longer ranges, we will be utilizing the, of course, the longer range guns, like the, a scope or something. But, grab 2x scopes if you want to. That'll make it a little bit easier. Again, it's not necessary, but I would recommend you grab 2x scopes just for, practice purposes, and put them into your inventory if you don't want them in your gun right now. So once you get to this part, we are going to be focusing on the actual course itself. Now, the actual course itself is fairly easy, at least at the start. In the beginning, you're going to want to use both guns that you have without hip fire, without ADSing or aiming down sights, and hitting all the targets in this first platform with a headshot. Now, that's the first part of this course when you are doing it, and I would suggest you keep at it until you get headshots on all of those dummy targets. Once you get to the main dummy here, you'll want to empty out your full ammunition on it until, or at least 9 bullets onto it, until you until, of course, you hit them 9 times. If you want to challenge yourself, I would suggest 10 times, but empty out the full clip if you can onto this dummy. If not, only hit him like 9 times and then destroy. And then once you've done that, destroy him so you can reset his health completely. But with that being said, that's the first part of this hipfire course, or at least course. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Okay, so once you've, of course, done that, you'll want to now move on the opposite direction. So once you've moved all the way across, right, you'll want to move in the opposite direction and start hitting the headshots on the left-hand side of the on the left-hand side, and basically move like I am, where we're moving on the left-hand side, trying to hit the headshots on all the dummies and the targets. And again, that's something that you'll want to do going forward. Just keep it going until you, of course, do that. And the same thing goes with the Wingman. The Wingman, you'll want to empty all the bullets if you can into the dummy. My passing grade would be 4, but then, of course, you want to also headshot all the dummies going across. And I'm not going to show you this again because I did do it partly over the course of this of the video, but you guys get the idea. We're going to move across on the right hand side, hit all the headshots on the dummy targets, then the main shielded target, or the dummy that's in the front of you, and of course move forward. Now the next part is to hip fire all these targets on the in the air here, and I would suggest 5 times if you're using the Wingman, 10 times if you're using the P2020. But just empty out your full clip into the target. This shouldn't be too hard, as these are just like the warm-up parts of this course. Once you reach the middle target here, you'll want to hit the targets in both the left and right side. This way you can at least kind of work on swapping targets or flicking towards targets. Same thing goes with these two. You just want to hit them and flick them until you, of course, hit them all on your clip, or at least four times, and then you'll want to do that. Same thing with there. And then move back. And then basically you're going to go on the left-hand side and move back and do it. We're going to do it one more time on the right-hand side just to warm up. And then you're going to move back and move on the left-hand side. So, once again, you're just going to do it again on the right-hand side at least twice to warm up. And then you're going to move on the backhand side, or go left. And then go left twice. So once you've done that, of course, same thing. When you reach the middle target, you just hit the 2 until you hit 4 times. But I would challenge you to hit them 5 times if you can, and then keep moving forward. And then just same thing with the double targets there. Hit them until you hit them 5 times, or at least 4 times, and then move forward. Same thing, and then go back on the left-hand side twice. And that should warm you up on just stationary targets. And just getting an idea and a feel for how much recoil or how much time you have to compromise before you take the next shot. Because a lot of players, as you know, will just rapidly fire thinking that, and they just rapidly fire to go to hit the target, but that's not always the case. It takes a little bit of a millisecond to hit. Now, the next one is to hit the moving target at least 4 times, but I would suggest to challenge yourself to hit it 5 times, and just try to track it and hit the moving target 5 times. Once you do that, move on to the next platform, and once again, hit it 5 times. On the second platform, hit it 5 times. Try to challenge yourself to just track the target and hit it 5 times, because again, not every target's going to be a dummy and stand still. Now, once you reach this middle target, you're just going to practice your flick shots. So you're going to hit the left target once, then you're going to hit the right target once. You're going to hit the left target again, then you're going to hit the right target again. And hit it at least 4 times. Hit at least both targets 4 times, or 2 times each. 5 times if you can. And that should move you forward with with the challenge. Again, this is not going to be easy. These targets are moving, so they're going to be harder to track. And it's going to be hard to utilize the mobility of these 2 targets. But if your sensitivity is right, then you should have no problem taking down these 2 targets. Once you move on to the next platform, you just go and focus on the right hand or the left hand target and shoot it at least 5 times. And the same thing goes again once you reach the last one, the last platform. You're just going to focus on the left-hand target and shoot it 5 times. And that should be pretty much it for that part of the course. Then you go backwards. Once you reach the end of of the last platform and you've done it, you just go backwards on the left-hand side. Work on it backwards, and then basically work on it backwards. Once you reach the middle platform, you do the left hand and the right hand, then you do the left hand and the right hand at least 4 times, or 2 on each target, until you reach 5 hits or 4 hits, and then same thing with then you focus on the right hand target, and you do it 5 hits, 5 hits. But with that having been said, that should be the next part of the thing. Now, once you reach this part, you're going to be focusing on the free farter targets. You're going to hip fire them. I would challenge you to hip fire them at least 5 times on all free targets. If you are using the P2020, then hit them 10 times or 9 times. Basically, you want to empty out the full clip until you reach the until of course you reach the until of course you get all 3 of them, or at least 3 of them, and then at least 4 hits entirely on across all 3 of those targets. When you reach the middle one, on the other hand, you're going to want to hit all 6 targets, or try to utilize like 9 ammo entirely. So at least 2 reloads. You want to hit all 3 of the middle targets at least once, and then reuse the rest of the ammo. So in the case of like the P2020, you want to just hit 9 times. You want to hit at least all 3, at least 9 times if you can. And then, yeah, move on. So, same thing, like, I'm showing you how the middle one works. If you're using the P2020 and you're on the middle part or the moving targets, then try to hit all the ammo across the full board. And that should warm you up, or at least get you to utilize your tracking if you're good at it, or if you need some help on your tracking, because, again, tracking can be something that you're going to be having a hard time with. And, same thing with the P2020, just empty out the bullets 9 times if you can on all 3 of these targets, and you should be good to go. Now, if you really want to challenge yourself to do it 10 times, to hit 10 times. And then just go once from right and then once left. And that should warm you up and help you with your recoil control and aim, especially at hip fire range in medium to far range targets that are a little bit more distant, especially on this type of gun. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the farther range targets, shall we? Alright, so here we are moving on to the last bit, which is the farthest range targets. Now, these stationary targets, you just want to hit them like the full clip or 9 times, or, until you empty out the full clip on all 3 of those far range targets, ADS, as you need to. If you need to, go ahead and use the 2x scope, but I would suggest you try and see if you can hip fire them or use iron sights on them, just because they are stationary targets. And yeah, once you've done that, you just want to move on. Now, you're going to have to just determine which target you have to hit left or right, depending on like the angle and the view you have. Because, again, you may not have the view on the right-hand targets like you will on the left-hand targets. And sometimes you may not have the view on the left-hand targets like you will on the right-hand targets. So, determine which target you think is going to be easier to hit. Now, of course, once you get to the last platform, you may have this moving platform get in the way of your long-range targets, but don't worry about it. Just try to focus on it. Do it right twice, and then do it left twice. That way you can really warm up and get a good idea or a good sense of it. Like I said before, if you need the 2x scope, that's why I have the 2x scope in your inventory, in case you really gotta, go, okay, I can't shoot this target at all. Then, use the 2x scope as a little bit of the easy way out. But I would suggest that you challenge yourself to maybe see if you can iron sight it, even though you may not need to iron sight it in a real game. But with that being said, that is pretty much the P2020 recoil / hip fire control or / fire rate control or fire control course, in a sense. The last thing is to just focus on trying to hit all the bullets, or at least 9 shots into both moving targets at far distance, ADSing. This way you can at least get yourself into a good rhythm of maybe tracking far range targets. Because, again, sometimes we have hard times tracking far range targets, especially if they're at the distance that these last two moving targets are with a pistol or a Wingman. So, yeah, with that being said, though, that's pretty much it for the course. Practice it at least before you start up in game. This way you can get a warm up and get something to get yourself going, get your shots warmed up. But as a bonus, if you are really willing to go the extra mile, and you are willing to really try to challenge yourself, I would suggest you try to hit a moving target while rolling on one of these zip lines. This is my bonus move, and this is something as a bonus to challenge yourself, is to try and hit at least one of those moving targets while rolling on the zip line before you hit the next platform. If you can do this, then this should help you, because, again, you may be sliding and sometimes you may be rolling and moving, so you'll want to try to practice hitting those targets if you can. But with that being said, hopefully these tips and hopefully this course has helped you at least get better with the P2020 and the Wingman. And yeah, I'm going to be going over every weapon, so don't worry if these are not your favorite weapons and you are looking for your favorite weapons, you want to know, your favorite weapons going forward and how I can help you improve on them, I will be going over them over time. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today on the sale. Thank you for watching this sale. If you like the sale, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification because I know you want to know when my next sale drops next. Thank you everybody for joining me today on the sale. Thank you for watching this sale. And yeah, I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/FA_EYE or I am live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure. Wednesdays and Saturdays are usually my 4 to 5 hour stream. If not, usually sometimes I go a little later, like 6 hours. Monday and Tuesday or Thursdays are usually about 2 to 3 hour stream. And Monday and Tuesday, I'm also live on Twitch at a 2 to 3 hour stream. But yeah, with that being said, I hope to see you live on Twitch, or maybe I'll see you on the next video. But until the next one, everybody, this is FAI or I signing out and saying farewell, everyone.